Hey, what's up, fellas? How you doing? Man, Antonelli here.
Hey, what's going on, guys? How we doing? Matt Antonelli here with Antonelli Baseball. Today we are checking out a pitching video with John Madden from YouGoProBaseball.com. John and I played with the San Diego Padres organization together. John also played with the New York Mets organization, does a great job with pitchers. Definitely go over and check out his stuff at YouGoProBaseball.com. Okay, before we get into the video today's video is sponsored by Triton. If you guys follow our stuff, you know that we use Triton gear and jerseys. Here's an example right here. Go over to their site, custombaseballjerseys.com. You can check out all the stuff that they do over there. They do a fantastic job. All right, so let's check out John's pitching velocity killers.
The first pitching velocity killer is going to be that you're not getting deep enough into your back leg. What I see a lot of pitchers do is when they go to pitch is they'll come up and they start moving down the mound, and this back leg is kind of really straight. Let me ask you something. If you were going to try to jump as high as you can, would you jump with a slight bend in your leg, or would you really get down there and explode up? You'd want to get down there, get into your legs and explode up, bend those legs to create energy upward. We want to do the same thing in pitching, but we want to create our energy going towards the home plate. So what it should look like when you're getting into your back leg when you're pitching is when you come up, you kind of want to sit into it and get a good deep angle so that when you start moving down that mound, you can drive out of it and create that energy going towards home. That's called leg drive, and it's where the energy starts. We create ground force by pushing this rubber away from us, and in return we have an equal and opposite reaction going the other way. To do that and to create enough energy and do it efficiently, we really need to get into that back leg so we can drive out of it and extend out of it, okay? So that's the first problem. How do we fix that? How do we get better at it? We can do a drill that's called sit drives. And for sit drives, all you're gonna do is take a bucket, you're gonna sit on that bucket while you're on the mound, and you're gonna drive out of that sitting position and really think about using that back leg. You wanna make sure your knee is inside your back foot when you do this pitching drill, and focus on going from that position, driving out and really using that back leg to give you that extension and that energy towards home.
All right, so first one we see a lot, not being able to get into the back leg properly to really be able to drive ourselves powerfully towards the plate.
Collapsing on your front leg. I can't tell you how many times I see this. This is probably one of the biggest pitching problems that I see, pitching velocity killers that I see in young pitchers, is when they start to pitch, they land on that front leg and then they just continue collapsing. And their shin angle is way too vertical. Some guys even knee over the toe, which is no bueno at all. Your shin angle wants to be definitely with that knee behind that ankle and pitching against that front leg. A lot of high velocity pitchers you'll see are fully extended on that front leg. It's okay to have a slight bend because it's a very hard thing to do, but you want to make sure that shin angle, you're pitching into the ground and that your knee is behind your ankle and that you're not collapsing with the knee going forward when you're pitching. So how do we work on this? We do up the mound throws. So instead of throwing from the rubber to home plate, we're gonna go on the back of the mound and we're actually gonna go throw up the mound, okay? And the reason why this is effective is because it helps us teach us that shin angle and how to pitch against our front leg, okay? So as we're going up the slope, we get to feel how that front leg should feel, okay? And then we really gotta work against it and throw down. So that's a great pitching drill to help fix that or get better at that if you're collapsing your front leg.
So the second one we probably see even more with younger players than the first one. Once they finally figure out, okay, how do I get into my back leg and how do I drive towards the plate? Well, now we've got to stop that energy to allow it to travel up our body and out our arm. So if you're not stabilizing your front leg very well, you're not able to do that.
Having flat shoulders. So guys who move down the mound and their shoulders just kind of stay flat, they kind of stay parallel to the ground. This is not good. We actually want to have a tilt to our shoulders. We want to be upward. Again, this is kind of mistaught a lot. Coaches think, you want to stay down with the front shoulder so you can pull down. No, again, it's loading and unloading. We want to load to unload, okay? So we're gonna have a slight upward shoulder angle as we move down the mount. So it looks like this. As we separate, again, earlier in the video, we talked about starting more closed off. So we're starting closed off, but we're also starting with an angle on the shoulders. So now we're closed and we're loaded this way. Now we can open and unload. That's how we get all our energy. That's how we get all our pitching velocity. So if you have flat shoulders, you're losing, you're killing your pitching velocity. So how do we work on this? How do we get better at this? You can do the rocker drill. Rocker drill is a great pitching drill. All you're gonna do is get set up nice and wide, heel to heel. You're gonna sit into it and you're gonna rock back and forth. Now, when you rock back and you start to throw and you separate your hands, you really wanna make sure that you get that angle in your shoulder this way before you turn and throw. Okay, so it looks a little something like this.
This is a really interesting one also. I saw Ron Wolforth talk about this a little bit. The example he used is, if you have a tree and I want to get the tree moving really, really quickly, is it going to move quicker if I just go and try to push it versus if I tie a rope around it and I pull that rope and I bend the tree back, right? I'm pulling the rope, pulling the rope, pulling the rope as far as I can, and that tree's bent like this, and now all of a sudden I cut the rope. What's going to happen to the tree? Well, the tree's going to fly in the opposite direction really, really fast. Way faster than if we just had it kind of standing straight up here and just push it or cut it down and then pushed it. Right? So you've got to put it on stretch. And it's the same thing with our body. If we want our trunk to rotate forward really fast, well, if we put it on stretch this way, well, then all of a sudden when I rotate that way, it's going to rotate much, much faster. It's going to be able to flex forward much, much faster. So really, really important stuff, really interesting stuff here. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that. John does a great job. Again, go over and check out his stuff, hugoprobaseball.com. He's got a bunch of stuff over there that you guys will enjoy. And that's all we have for today. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe to the channel if you've not done so already. Give it a thumbs up. Comment in the section below. We'd really appreciate all that stuff. Share with all your friends. And that's all we have. Thanks again, and we'll talk to you later.